Welcome to Rap in Order, the interrogation of a hip-hop album, where we take some of the culture's most beloved hip-hop albums, put them on the stand, see if they stood the test of time. Now let's see who we got on the stand today.
Welcome to another episode of Rap in Order. I'm First Class Regg.
I'm Taurian B.
How you feeling today?
Good, man.
Good. What's been happening? So, in the world of entertainment, we saw the Beyonce movie.
Yeah, we did. We saw the Queen.
Yeah. So I caught it after work. So I got off work at 10 p.m. that night, and I was like, "Yo, I'm usually not good for a movie after or before or after 10 o'clock. I'm not good for a movie. I'll fall asleep." So
yeah, we old now.
Yeah, I saw the running time was 2 hours and 48 minutes.
3 hours, basically.
Yeah, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like, all right, but it's the Queen. I got to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I hopped in the theater. I worked right next to the theater. Hopped in the theater, caught the 10:30 show. I stayed up the whole time, and I was that drawn in.
It was intriguing. Yeah, I saw it at MetLife Stadium, and over the summer. And it was dope to like actually like hear her talk about like what it took to go into like building the stage and everything like that. Like
Yeah.
I saw Frankie on Twitter basically saying that Beyonce basically funding the steel industry.
Oh, right? Because they had what, 3 stages?
Yeah, they had 3 stages rotating.
Yeah.
That were going like, so there was a current city that they was in, and then they had the teams go to the next 2 cities to build the stages at wherever else they were going. So if they were in Cincinnati, then there would be one build like they will go to Cleveland, and then
That'd be the next stop.
Yeah, and then maybe like somewhere in Michigan, because like Ohio and Michigan are like next to each other. So like they would do the 2 cities in Ohio, and then the next city would be somewhere in Michigan or whatever like that to do it. And I just think that's planning. That's really smart. Like, and that's like foolproof, because it's just like, all right, nothing get left behind. Like everything is like ready. Can't nobody get hurt.
Yeah.
It's just smart, like building the stage design to just do that, and like just having the know-how.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. So like with movies like this, I'm always intrigued because I'm so fascinated about the behind the scenes work all the time. So like that was my big draw to this, besides like seeing the show itself.
Mm-hmm.
My big draw was to see how it came to fruition. So like seeing all the behind the scenes stuff, of course, seeing the show and seeing her perform is dope, but seeing how everything came about is just like so fire. So like even seeing the stage build, hearing that it took 4 years.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's interesting because you never like you realize that like artists are like really meticulous. Like when artists are just like not when they're low, when they're quiet, like we think they're just doing nothing. We think they just counting their money, and we think they just sitting at home. But like actually no, like they're planning.
Yeah,
and they're like getting things like in order and like making like mood boards and doing all this stuff. Like, and you think about it, like these people are creatives, right? So that's interesting. I wanted to point out like my favorite part of the movie when like Beyonce is going on this like she's having a conversation. Yeah, it's just listen, man.
Yeah, y'all saw it. So you guys have seen it.
She's saying that like she feels like people like are always like trying to fuck with her and lie to her, and like basically
and then they show clips of that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So she's like, "Hey, I want to get this fish lens like this wide," and the guy was like, "We don't have that." She was like, "I googled it already.
Yeah,
we do have it." Like that was crazy to me because like I was like, "Nah, that was some Virgo shit."
Yeah.
Regg is Virgo, y'all. Yeah. I was like, "Oh nah."
I'm asking because I already know.
She asked the question because she knew the answer. Yeah. Homie failed the test.
Yeah.
He probably got fired next day, y'all.
He probably did, and it's on video. Like we've all seen the shit. And the Beehive is passionate enough to make sure that dude never gets hired again.
Yo, bro, I just thought that was cool. I also thought it was cool when the moment when Jay-Z was talking to Blue Ivy, and well, both Beyonce and Jay were both like basically thanking Blue. And like saying like, yo, Jay was like, "I'm so honored to be your dad," and Beyonce's like, "I'm so honored to be on the stage with you." I just thought that was dope because you don't see that like from parents. So that was like a really, really cool thing that I thought like I was like, yo, this is fucking great.
That type of recognition.
Yeah, from your parent? Nigga,
yeah.
What?
And your mom is Beyonce, like
yeah.
You know,
so I thought
what you gotta do is show up.
I thought that was great. And I also thought it was like cool. So the Uncle Johnny story, like really, really like it like touched me. Like I was like, damn, because this album, I'll be honest, like I didn't like I listened to it, but I didn't like do deep dives like finding out backstories and stuff like that, right? So like knowing like okay, when she was saying like Uncle Johnny made this dress, I didn't
Mhm.
realize that oh shit, this tied back to that infamous prom dress picture
Yeah.
and everything that she did. And I was just like, wow.
Yeah, and
Like,
yeah,
you know?
super meticulous, and
Yeah.
like him being the one that was making the dresses with her mom,
Right.
and anybody that's a Beyonce fan, even if you're a surface level Beyonce fan, you know how much of a big part her mom played in
Yeah.
like making all the costumes for the
Yeah.
group. That was like a big deal. So like, it wasn't until this album that I realized that oh, they had an uncle named Johnny that used to help with that whole thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I just thought that that was really cool and like it was just like a dope like Easter egg like
Mhm.
little thing or whatever like that.
Mhm.
But that was cool. But I guess we want to move on to like some bad news.
What's the bad news?
Um, like the stuff that happened with Cat that's going on with Cassie and Diddy. I'm not gonna be politically correct. Well, I guess politically correct would be a nice thing to do. It's unfortunate to see like the reports, like reading the reports of what Cassie said that she experienced, and it's also unfortunate because like we grew up like basically like enjoying Puff so much,
Mhm.
so like to see that pretty much like to read this and like realize that like somebody that you really look up to is capable of doing these things and like possibly like being because he settled so quickly. A lot of people feel that he did it, and a lot of people are like saying that like he's absolutely capable and he's a violent person. It makes me feel like really like sad, like damn, like it sucks like you have like your heroes or like people you look up to and aspire to be like, and then like you see things like this and it's like really tough to know what's true, to know to what to believe, right?
Mhm.
And then you just like damn, like it makes you like question like yo, like I look up to this person, like what does it say about me? Like I don't know, it's just one of those things where I'm like damn, like who is left? Because like think about it, we got to get rid of Bad Boy. That's a lot of fucking music.
Yeah. I think but what kind of makes it a little easier to listen to bad boy music and stuff is that like, it's kind of
Because he ain't write shit.
yeah, he didn't really write shit.
Yeah, that's true. That is a loophole.
He didn't really write shit. He orchestrated,
Yeah, he
you know.
orchestrated. Yeah,
He orchestrated and there is talent in that,
yeah,
in orchestrating.
yes, it
But
is.
um yeah, man, I mean I can listen to all of that shit freely. Now, if you want to get deeper into it and start thinking like, well, did this person know that he was like this? Then that,
Mm.
that's a little more messy.
Yeah, because people are coming out of the woodworks for him, and I think that like that's also like very like interesting in my opinion that people like so many people like people that like worked with him,
Mhm.
friends, ex security guards like are on Vlad TV and art of storytelling, like is it art of the
Man, that's
deal or art of
my
storytelling?
art of dialogue.
Art of dialogue.
Yeah.
That I hate that guy.
Yeah. He
I hate him
why?
because like it's obvious that he hates Biggie and Bad Boy and Puff.
Man, because his I was talking to my brother about this yesterday, but like his whole YouTube, he was just talking about Pac. But it was like Pac content. And then this happened and he's just been on a tear with this.
Bro, like when I know, but like I use YouTube a lot as like my background music to like clean, do anything. And I would listen to like hours of this man's content.
Mhm.
And it's always like, so you don't think Biggie had nothing to do with it? Like it's just like
Oh, see, I haven't
he does stuff like there's like different times like where he's like interviewed the dude Napoleon that was like I think he was like one of the youngest outlaws, but like he obviously now he's grown and like he's actually really successful.
Mhm.
He has like a restaurant in Dubai, like he's doing really well. But like he'll talk to Napoleon and he'll just be like, yo, so you don't think like Puffy like paid Keefy D, like basically like trying to get them to say like, yeah, I think he
Yeah.
did that shit. Like all of his like he's worse to me, he's worse than Vlad.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's just basically the same shit that Vlad does.
But like I guess we know like Vlad openly says like I love Tupac. Like I'm a Tupac
Mhm.
fan and like basically his life's work was to solve the Tupac murder.
Mhm.
Like I just think it's hilarious that like people go on these people shows and like sit down and talk and like they don't even be like, yo, hold on, why you asking me that?
Yeah,
Like
no,
they don't even stop to think like
they
this
just
is
lean into
weird.
it
Yeah, like
because they already got the check. They
yeah.
get paid for
Well,
that.
yeah, he
They get
pays them,
paid
and he pays them well. Like basically, he's like, I'll give you half now, and the other half after we finish. So I
Mhm.
think like that must be I get it. If I'm down on my luck, I'll be like, hey, Black, I got some more stories.
Yeah. I heard that Boosie basically has like a Vlad deal
I mean,
where essentially he gets paid like as a recurring guest on Vlad because he always does numbers when he's on Vlad. He has like a deal with him basically that he does like I don't know if deal is the right word but he has like a recurring
it
he
sounds
has a
right.
recurring guest role
Yeah,
where he
because
gets
yeah,
paid.
at one point that was Charlemagne's seat. At
Hmm.
one point that was Lord Jamar's seat.
Hmm.
Like there's certain people that like will come back regularly. Who else regularly comes back? Faison Love is a regular.
Yeah,
Um Godfrey used to be a regular, but I don't think him and Godfrey are on good terms anymore.
yeah, because essentially he gets really good numbers with those
Yeah,
people, so he
Michael
wants to
Ja
keep
White
yeah
is
he
like a
wants to
regular
keep
on there.
having them on
Yeah,
shit.
and he puts the proof in the pudding because something just happened with what's Shorty's name? Damn, she has a baby with Aaron Hall. Like they were just
Gloria Velez.
Gloria Velez. She was supposed to get a show with him,
Oh,
and she wanted like more control. So like Vlad kind of like he was like, all right, you can do whatever you want. You can put the content out, and like basically like she had like TK Kirkland, like these different people. She had Cisco like do like a whole like thing with her,
like a
and like
segment.
yeah, like whole segment, and like it didn't do shit
Oh shit.
under his network, and like he was like, yo, you can own all the content, you can do everything, and basically like she cut ties with Vlad, and, like went on a rant saying like he was a culture vulture, this and that, and Vlad was like, all right, like leave them, do whatever you want to do, and like he said, like you go and look, and like her numbers are like so pedestrian, and like he was like, I'm just telling you, he was like, she just don't have it, people don't want to hear her talk, like,
Mm.
and I was like, damn, like, cause like Vlad is
See
like a
now,
cocky motherfucker,
yeah,
like yeah, he just
but
talks the
now
shit,
the tables are gonna turn, and people do want to hear it from anyone that has anything to do with that circle of
yeah.
you
A
know
bad boy.
whether yeah.
Anybody that was affiliated with Puff, and that's why like there's people coming out of the woodworks right
Hmm.
now, like pretty much like because these dudes, two of them wrote. Gene Deal wrote a book, and so did Mark Curry.
Yeah.
And like I heard that their books are like flying off the shelves and
Hmm.
everything like that. And then on top of that, and then Cassie, she named Roger Bonds, who's from Harlem, and like because he was head of Puff security at one point.
He just got interviewed recently. Well, no, he put something up on his Instagram.
Yeah, like you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying, like. I know Roger Bond's son. Like it's just
like
crazy. It's
he's like
surreal.
I'm gonna tell my truth. So when he wrote that, I'm pretty sure people were getting on him.
Yeah, everybody was just like, all right, let's
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
But yes, it's very unfortunate to see someone that you like really, really look up to, like Puff, just going through things.
But yeah, I guess besides that, on to like new music. You been listening to anything?
New music?
Hmm.
Okay. So this is gonna be really funny. So have you ever watched the TV show College Girls on HBO Max?
College Girls. No. What was that
So
now?
is written by damn it, Sex Lives of
Oh,
College
Sex Life
Girls.
of College Girls.
Right.
Okay.
So one of the girls on the show, her name is Renee Rapp. Um,
Okay, I've seen this poster
yeah,
before.
okay. So the
Girl
lead,
smile is annoying.
okay, that's the girl I'm talking about. Her name is Renee Rapp,
Hmm.
and she's a singer. So she does like she's listed on the pop, but like you tell that she has a very very huge like influence from like southern like black music,
Hmm.
and she can fucking sing her ass off. And like she has an EP and an album that dropped this year, and like I've kind of like been like checking her out,
You fucking with that?
just giving myself like a different vibe as far as like the music.
Hmm.
Who else just recently dropped? Because some people drop, but it's just like we're like a week removed from when that music did drop. So I think
Yes.
that's why like right now like it's like kind of like a blur to me.
Yeah. My rotation right now is pretty I mean, it's good. Like Katra dropped a really nice two track EP.
I didn't get a chance to check that
Yeah,
location out.
it's pretty good. Katra is like old faithful though. He's always gonna give you one or two. So he dropped Danny Brown dropped a project recently. I haven't gotten to it yet. I did see the Pitchfork review. It wasn't very good, but I'm gonna check it out.
I'm still listening to that project that he has with JPEG,
Oh yeah, JPEG. Yeah, that's a scaring all the hoes,
scaring
scaring
the
the hoes.
hoes. Yeah.
That's like one of my standouts for this year. And we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Um, Ari Lennox dropped a new track.
Yeah. See.
Really good.
Really good. Okay.
Mhm.
Cause I know she was mad that somebody threw a bottle at her.
Oh my god, I saw that video. I'm not
It
gonna
was
lie, that video kind of turned me on.
okay,
A
Rich.
lot. She leaned into that shit. Like for real.
Okay.
It was unfortunate events, but I was like, damn, why y'all throw this bottle? But then why do I like seeing this right now. It was unfortunate, but I don't know why niggas go to shows and throw stuff on the stage, man.
Yeah, I don't get it
Crazy to
either.
me. Like, yeah, y'all paid to be there.
Right.
That girl Tyler, the water
Yes.
girl,
Yeah.
she dropped the water girl, but she dropped a new song because her project is getting ready to come out. It's called
Okay.
Truth or Dare. It's really fucking good. She about to be out here for a while, man. I feel it. She's super young. She's talented though. I think she's gonna be out for a while.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, this is how this is. It's been a little while since we recorded, so I had to literally remember. Like Andre 3000 dropped his flute album
Hmm.
that everybody was upset about because he's not rapping. It's
Hmm.
cool, play it to like soothe you or relax you.
Yeah.
Drake dropped Scary Hours,
Hmm.
you know, and it was great. He raps. He gave us exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe Button. Bullying works.
Yeah.
That's I genuinely feel that way. I feel like it's all his fault.
Yeah. I do like the Scary Hours 3. Uh, Conway and Conductor dropped a project together
I
on
haven't checked
Friday.
that out yet. I gotta
Yeah.
check that out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. It's actually like pretty good. Conductor is like really showing out this year. Showing out this year. I gotta get to this Busta album.
You gotta get to
Haven't heard
Busta.
very good things,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I listen to Busta's new project. So
Yeah,
Busta's new project actually kind of gives me like he's trying to keep up with the new generation.
it's given hello fellow kids.
Yeah. Um. Okay, so I already know how you feel about Night Shift with Larry June and Cardo.
Hmm.
We know you love it.
Hmm.
Have you listened to Alone at the Prom, Tory Lanez?
Oh, the deluxe version. No, I haven't. But I heard it's really good.
Yeah, like really good.
Yeah, I heard it's
Yeah,
really good.
it's really good.
I am gonna check it out. It's on my list.
We got Welcome to Collie Grove.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wayne and Two Chainz. I haven't checked that out yet.
Um, so I really like the first one. I haven't really dug into the second one that much.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, besides those,
And then we got Too Good to Be True, Ross
oh yeah,
and
man,
Meek.
this shit should have came out in 2014, man. That's when I would have cared. That's legit when I would have cared. But it just doesn't have that replay value for me right now. That
I
could change.
I checked out Lola Brooks' project. I want to like listen to it again because I listened to it on my way to work and like it didn't catch me.
Yeah, Dennis' daughter, I think
Yeah,
it's called.
Dennis's daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Lola Brooke. She reminds me of a really good time. Like she's reminds me of Foxy,
Yeah,
you know,
no,
just
absolutely.
that Foxy
Foxy all
shit.
day.
Um, and I like her voice. I like her energy. So I'm gonna check it out. I haven't checked it out yet though.
Okay.
I've really been in my like R&B bag mostly.
Yo, I've just been making my own playlist and listening
Yeah,
to that. And
yeah. I make my
then
own shit and I
yeah,
just listen to that.
okay. And
Yeah.
last but not least, Jeezy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So 29 songs.
Did you check it
I
out?
haven't gotten to all of it. Did you
I,
hear it?
I I heard the whole thing and I think it's a good project. I think Jeezy's very much pattern. He's on a faster track, but he's patterned his career. He's patterning his career after Jay-Z.
Okay.
And but he's just doing it faster.
Hmm.
So like he's like basically this is his 444, but he's not apologizing for anything. He's basically like, just
But it's
happy
his
to
more
love it.
personal
Yeah,
album.
it's his
Okay.
very personal, introspective album.
Hmm.
And
I think that's been missing from Jeezy actually.
yeah, and I think like where he's at in life, like he's very much like, yes, I used to be a street nigga, but like I am very far removed from that, and
Hmm.
like I'm growing, and you
Okay, I
know,
see the parallels.
yeah,
I see
like
what you're saying.
it's just like because I listen to his interviews and like when he talks about Jay, basically like Jay was like a mentor to him, but like he basically says like Jay Z's teachings are like pretty much what he holds near and dear,
Hmm.
and like how he continues to move in this industry and what he aspires to do. And I think that like he like sees it. It's kind of like he like took the advice that like Jay was trying to get beans or some shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Huh. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Hmm.
good day, guys. We obviously you're watching because we're gonna go over an album today.
Yeah.
That this one came out in 2012, and it's a mixtape. It's been regarded as a mixtape over the years, and I think it kind of switched into being mentioned as an album
I
in the
got
later
yeah.
years.
Last year, 2022, it got
Mhm.
released as an album for its 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, so it hit 10 years in 2022. So it came out in 2012, September 5th, 2012. Under Good Music. Um, this artist I feel like he kind of had a rough start and kind of had to prove himself a lot in the beginning because he was on a label that had so many other stars on it, and he had to find a way to stand out. And it was like that. I've always regarded him as having that like Rockefeller treatment that was
Mm,
so famous back in the day, where it's like, well, you got the deal, you got to do everything yourself, type thing, the tough love type thing, where you got to prove yourself. That I think that's what Kanye kind of came up in, where he kind of had to do everything himself
mm.
because he already had the name behind him. And
Very true.
that's what Big Sean did. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, talking about Big Sean and his project Detroit. It's his fourth mixtape. It was released, like I said, in 2012 under Dat Piff. You had a lot of high profile guests on here. You had fellow Michigan guy, Royce the 5'9". You had Kendrick Lamar. You had Tyga, French Montana, King Chip, Juicy J, J. Cole, just to name a few. You had production from Key Wayne. You had production from Hit Boy, who, we've seen how their chemistry developed over the years. Um, when this came out, it was big for Sean, like I said, because it was this project that kind of put new eyes on him, and it came out at a time where he was coming off of a lot of big features. You had Click, you had Mercy.
Hmm.
So he kind of used those moments to really like make this project as big as it was for him. Um, and then when it dropped, I remember it dropped and it crashed that piff with like 1.5 million downloads that day. I remember actually trying to download it and that piff crashed. Just a big moment in that time frame. And then and for him as an artist, what do you remember about when this project dropped?
I remember being so I remember being really excited when this project dropped, and I remember listening to how it feel like a lot. Like I listen to if I have my old iPod and I can, like, you know how it can show you on your old iPod like
Like most listen.
most listens.
Hmm.
Like I had a ridiculous amount of listens to that song because I loved the sample and I just loved how he was rapping on it.
Hmm.
And I remember like thinking like, oh man, like he's arrived, like, like because at that time, ladies and gentlemen, like this was like, Good Kid, Mad City dropped this year. Yeah, and it was just like I was like, yo, I think Big Sean might be one of the ones. Like it just, it gave he really, really it was I was really impressed with this project because like it was actually like a lot of versatility
Hmm.
that he gave on this project. And I was just like, damn, like Big Sean's really talented, and like I wasn't mad at anything that he did on this project. I was really impressed, and I was mad that it wasn't an album.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, why would you waste that's what I want to know. Actually, I'm actually curious. Do you know this? Because I couldn't find it anywhere. Did he put this out like because like like the label wouldn't? Did he turn this in and they wouldn't take it?
Like on some like Friday Night Lights type shit.
Yeah,
No, I think he just wanted to keep that momentum up because like he had a lot of momentum that year with like the shit that was dropping,
bro.
and it was just a way to keep that going. And I think he capitalized on it in the moment, and he just strike while the iron was hot. I think he
That
should
is
have,
nuts.
in retrospect, he could have kept this. This should have low key been his like debut.
Yes,
Detroit
like
should have been his debut.
the way he like to me the way he sequenced this mixtape,
Hmm.
like Sean, like I also like Dark Sky of Paradise a lot,
Hmm.
but like and I like Detroit too,
Hmm.
Detroit Part Two,
Hmm.
but like I'm like, what the fuck, he's never like sequenced the project like this well like this again,
Yeah,
and I'm like, what the fuck? Hold on a second. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like I
yeah.
don't get it.
I think he just really wanted to use that moment for that big year that he was having to kind of like end it off. And it's just funny because this dropped in September and then the next month Kendrick dropped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it was just like it just time like yo between the albums and the mixtapes that dropped in 2012.
Hmm.
Damn, like I'll just talk about like Dream Chasers 2 dropped this year.
Hmm.
So that's the most downloaded mixtape in that history.
Yeah.
So that says a lot if this project you know what I'm saying crashed the site.
Yeah.
Imagine what Dream Chasers 2 did, right?
Hmm.
You got Rich Forever by Rick Ross, Soul Tape 2 by Fabulous, V6 by Lloyd Banks, Macadelic by Mac Miller. One of Gucci Mane's mixtapes, Trap God, that was like, his most notable. Childish Gambino's Royalty, 1999 by Joey Badass,
Hmm.
Forever and a Day by Big Crit, The Yellow Album by Dom Kennedy, Back from the Dead by Chief Keef.
Yeah.
These were just mixtapes.
And those were like career defining mixtapes.
Yes, like, like that, like, oh, and Wiz Khalifa's Taylor All the Dice.
Yeah.
right? So like those were like mixtapes that came out, and I can argue that all of the mixtapes that I named should have been fucking albums.
Yeah.
Dream Chasers 2 should have been Meek's album.
Rich Forever should have been Ross's album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it actually makes me mad.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Like I just think, and this was in the middle of that transition from mixtapes where people kind of, I feel like the artists were like, all right, well, mixtapes are a thing. Since they're a thing, let's just give them our all instead of so they were thinking very small in that way, right? Where they were like, let's just put our all into these mixtapes. Instead of thinking that way, they should have just been thinking like, all right, let's just put our all into these albums to flush out the mixtape.
Yo,
Because the
bro.
mixtape was just supposed to be the teaser.
It just,
Then people started treating them like albums. Somewhere around 2009, 2010, I would say, they started giving mixtapes that album treatment. Because this shit had like skits.
I'm trying to think. Was it what year did Cushion OJ come out?
That was like when I first joined Twitter, so like 2009.
2009. Yeah, like it became like a thing to like, you know, where artists like, because before mixtapes would just be people rapping over other beats, a DJ talking all over it. But yeah,
and then
like
it switched and it was like, mixtapes are hot,
this
but I'm
presentation.
gonna make my mixtape like an album.
Right.
It was just like, damn, that's what fucked everything up.
Right. It fucked the game up. But
Yeah.
yeah, like, you know, and I like to look at the albums that came out this year, it was a competitive year. And like, you know, Sean came out, you know, with some very, very, he had a lot of competition. And like what I always liked about Big Sean, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, is like his confidence and like the fact like he never seemed phased by nobody that he was around. Like I think that like spoke like volumes about him, in my opinion. I think like that's like what made like his music like very like being able to like resonate, because it's like, all right, he seems like the average dude, but like his confidence also lets you know that he's probably the most important dude in any room that he walked into. Like if like Kanye, Jay-Z's not there, otherwise like he's probably going to draw all the attention. He's probably going to have on something that you want to wear. He's probably going to bag the girl that you want to holler at. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like he just had that charisma and that personality about him. So, you know, I think that was like pretty cool. Well, that's how I felt about Big Sean. Like when I would see him, I'd be like, damn man, like I like those sneakers he got on, or that hat that he got on is dope, or something like, you know, something like that. Or then like
he's big on that.
See him with a shorty, or you'll see him like with a shorty, be like, damn, shorty is fine, or whatever like that. Like it was he was a very, very cool, like he was very much the cool kid. Yeah. Wherever he went.
Yeah, and he very much embodied the blog era.
Yeah,
the blog era was very, very much in Big Sean's style. Yeah, and the way that he transitioned out of that was with this album to like show himself as an artist, as a full artist. So getting into the album, into the project itself, I've always said that I really like when Sean works with Key Wayne. I think they really understand each other. Key Wayne's from Detroit as well, and the way they work together, their chemistry is so good. In my opinion, I think he has better chemistry with Key Wayne than he does with Hit Boy. But him and Hit Boy probably have like a closer relationship, so that's why they keep creating together. But on this tape, like, you know, it starts off with Higher, and Higher is so fucking good to me because the production is so good. It has like this motivational type spill to it, and the rapping is so good. It's like high level rapping, and he's like just capitalizing on that moment. There's even a moment in the song that it switches to the Mercy beat, and he just rapping on that, and then it switches back. Like it just, the way it weaves in and out, it's like really good.
Big Sean is a very talented rapper. Big Sean is kind of, in my opinion, if you have to like build a rapper or like create a rapper, like Big Sean is like one of those created like rappers defaults that you can like build, and like he's going to be a superstar. It's going to work. Like he does that, so it's like, you know, how effortlessly like he can like flow and like do what he does. Like it's kind of like it's obvious to see, and I think like you know, it was just like his time was coming. So this intro, when I heard it, I was just like, this is how he's starting the shit off. Like I was just like, it kind of like blew me away. Like I like I said, like this guy was on something. I'm really upset he didn't make this album. And like I wish that, I don't know what I was hoping that on Detroit too, like he kind of would have like continued like this format on that, but like he kind of like it was kind of like just more like a ode to Detroit. Like
Yeah,
again, like but
yeah.
like how this one was, but he did it like he remixed it and changed
Hmm.
what he did. But
He had. I think he married it as close as he could.
hmm
Because he knows that this is like his most important project. So for him to revisit it was probably a really big deal. Um, I think the album kind of still kicks up or keeps the level where it's at, or maintains the level that it's at with 24 Carats of Gold with J. Cole. Um, it was very important for him to work with Cole in this time frame, and with Kendrick, and we'll get to that too. Um, what did you think of this one?
all right, so I wanted to make sure that I said really nice things and talked about Big Sean in a really good light, ladies and gentlemen, because I saw some people say that they think that I don't like Big Sean and I have a problem with him. I
Hmm.
don't.
Hmm.
But I don't want to hear this nigga sing. I hate it. It's annoying. He sounds like a Sesame Street like character. It blows mine. And
Hmm.
this is the part that makes it hard for me to fully enjoy and embrace this album. I don't know who told Big Sean he can sing, but whoever told him, I really, really got a problem with that person.
Hmm. What did you think of Cole's verse?
Cole's verse was good.
Yeah.
But like I said, Sean, because Sean opens a song singing, you don't want to listen to the song.
Mhm.
You don't get to it because he's singing and like harmonizing and shit. And I'm just like, yo, bro, like, stop.
Yeah.
Like I just like I'm good on it. Like and it's like it's not like he can't hold a note, like his voice is cracked or anything like that.
Yeah,
But it's just
yeah,
like I just don't care.
yeah.
Stop singing, nigga.
Okay. Well, yeah, if you don't care for that, then yeah, you probably won't like it. I personally
Yeah.
like this song. I think it's not my favorite. I think they could have came up with something better than this. It's not my favorite, but I don't mind it like how like how you do.
That's just the best thing. I like my rappers to rap, ladies and gentlemen. Like I really, really do. Like I want Drake to rap. I want J. Cole to rap.
I was just about to
I
bring up
want
Drake.
Kendrick.
How do you feel about
Kendrick.
Drake singing?
Drake can sing. Like he like all right, Drake. I can tolerate Drake singing more than I can tolerate Big Sean singing.
Okay,
But
I can too.
I'd rather Drake sing. I mean rap.
Rap.
Damn,
Okay.
look at that. Crazy.
Yeah.
I'd rather Drake rap. Like like just like you're good at it, my
Yeah.
nigga. Like it's like just do it. Like I just sometimes I just be like, yo, man.
So you saw the reports on his. Did you see the reports on his streaming numbers for this last album and how they weren't that big
You talking about
compared
scary
to,
hours
yeah,
or okay.
Scary Hours. They
Yeah.
weren't that big compared to like what he's done in the past that are more commercial. And then people were saying using that as a crutch, like, see, that's why he don't give y'all rap albums because y'all don't stream it. You think
But
it's
this
an
is
hoop
this
to that?
no, it was a freaking EP and it was the deluxe to what he already did.
Yeah,
If he just said, hey, here's 10 songs just me rapping and it's an album, I think that it would do numbers.
yeah.
Like, come on, like I don't even think that's fair. If that's what Drake goes off on, then you know what? I guess I'll just have to ask to square up with Chubbs because I know he won't fight me. He gonna send Chubbs from the fight. But like, yeah, man, like nah, like I just
Yeah. So we actually get into the first story from Common,
yeah, Dilla stuff,
which
yeah.
the stories kind of weave into this album project really well. Um, Common tells his Detroit story. Now, what I think he did that was very intentional on this project that I liked was that he got people to tell stories about their time in Detroit that aren't from
That
Detroit.
aren't Detroit
Yeah,
natives.
so like he got Common to tell his story because Common has ties with the Soulquarians and him going to Detroit to go see Dilla and being reminiscent of that time where they would go to Coney Island or go to, the strip club or whatever and get some food. It's just a real like home feeling
Mm-hmm.
that it has and a feeling of warmth, especially with like the piano keys. It wants you to like
I'm going for 4th of July next year for the
put you in
family
that
reunion.
moment for your family reunion. Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. I'm trying to go.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to go.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be fly. Okay, but yeah. So from there, I know you probably want to get into this one. The
How I
next one is
feel.
How I Feel.
Song is amazing.
Man,
Why? Like I don't know why I didn't get more attention. It makes no sense to me.
mhm,
Like I can't. I don't get it. I don't understand why How It Feel didn't get more attention and
yeah,
get more recognition. Why I didn't get the push. The video was fly. He had on
mhm,
the bear fur coat. Like
yeah.
that shit was
It's
dope.
some real player shit.
Yeah,
Like
like
it's
that was some
super.
real Detroit play. That was that shit Biggie was talking about when he said my Detroit players,
Yeah,
y'all. That's what he was talking about.
it's super Detroit. The production, the Barry White sample,
Yes.
the soul sounds of it. It's great. I think it hit. I think it really wins on all levels for me. Like the
Agreed.
flow, everything. Um uh I didn't want to go track for track, but I
It's
did want
okay.
to know your thoughts on woke up. Woke up with Say It Ain't Tone, Early Mac, shout out to them. Mike Posner, James Fauntleroy is on here as well. Um what you think of that one?
I really enjoy the raps, but the singing, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
I agree with you on the singing on this one.
it's just I'm like, yo, like I'm like, you couldn't afford like you couldn't like get nobody to come in and sing. Like
Mhm.
I know like sometimes artists have to like do references for the singers, like to what to sing and shit. And yeah, man, I just don't know why the fuck he just decided to sing the hook. Like I felt like I'm like, you didn't want to pay any R&B artists? Like what the fuck, bro?
Yeah,
Like
he does, but he does that a lot though. Like he dips in and out of singing a lot, especially when he links up with Janae, because I think
yeah.
they write a lot together. So like, it's like a thing. He's been doing that his whole career.
Now he's turning to fucking John Lennon,
Yeah,
so
yeah, he has. He has. I don't know what's going on with him lately, but I mean that's for another day.
yeah.
Um, what's another one?
Um
What's another song on
uh
here?
Selling Dreams was a huge disappointment.
You know, with a Chris Brown feature, yes.
Because My Last was such a huge song.
Hmm.
So I just thought like, all right, like it's a no brainer. Like I thought eventually they would make like a joint album or something
Hmm.
like that. I just thought it would happen. Like I'm like if Chris Brown and Tiger can have this much chemistry, Big Sean
Hmm.
and like these two talented young dudes, like
Yeah.
no problem.
I'm not even the biggest Chris Brown fan, but I feel like he can build chemistry with anybody. Like he's one of
That's
those
true.
artists that
Okay.
can just morph and be in your
That
world if you.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely a chameleon.
Hmm. Oh, can't skip over 100. Features Royce the 5'9", Kendrick Lamar. You got
Elite rapping.
yeah, you got some James Fauntleroy on there as well. Um, yeah, man, this is a big moment on the project. Like you got a really big MC at the time, Kendrick Lamar, leading into a life changing album the
Hmm.
very next month.
Hmm.
And then you got another hometown hero in Royce the 5'9" on this one,
Hmm.
and everybody delivers. The production is so dark. It's produced by Don Cannon. It's introspective. Um, talks about their city. Talks about the come up a lot. I love Kendrick's take on this. I think Kendrick kind of stole the show on
He
here.
did absolutely stole the show.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
that was the first time we did the Big Sean.
Yeah, wouldn't be the last.
Nope.
No, wouldn't be the last. But I think all of them delivered on here. I think it was great to have Royce have Royce be the second one. The way their voices flowed, it just made sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, this was a solid one.
Yeah, I think so. That was pretty dope. I really liked Moolah.
Oh, that's my shit. I
Yeah,
still like that song.
because like it's funny to me. Like First Montana did raps like he has marbles in his mouth, but it's just like he actually just gets his point across, and it just sounds great. Like
Yeah,
his accent is just really dope. And I think that like what those two did together, I thought, oh man, like this is impressive.
yeah. It's a very 2012 song,
Yeah,
but I really like it. I really do like it. And then you got some other highlights for me. Well, I'm gonna be is a very Janae and Big Sean song. It's a very sing along type vibe to it, which I didn't mind. I don't mind it. Did you like that one? I know it has some singing on it.
I wrote get this Sesame Street shit out of here.
Yeah, that's the thing. It does have that vibe. It has that vibe to it. And typically, I would hate a song like this, but it's not a song that I would just be like, "Well, I want to listen to I'm Gonna Be," and I go put it on. It's not one of those for me. It's definitely not. Um.
Yeah, bro. I will say another song that I love, FFOE.
Oh yeah.
That's peak Big Sean rapping. I feel like
That's exactly what
that's
I wrote.
peak Big Sean rapping. Like
Yeah.
that's probably on this album. That's probably his best rapping,
Yeah,
like flow of rapping.
I wrote I missed this Sean. That's what I
Yeah,
wrote. Yeah. That's the big Sean that a lot of people were introduced to, especially like on the mixtape scene. Finally famous over everything. That like he repped that crew to the death in the beginning.
yeah, man.
Yeah. So like there's that one. You got your um typical classic stripper anthem with Do What You Gotta Do What I Gotta Do with Tyga.
I felt like he failed with
Hmm.
that. I felt like that was a failure, and I'm like, how, nigga? Like you can make strip club anthems, Big
Yeah.
Sean. And this is Tiger, Mr. Make It Nasty.
Yeah.
Like, how did I don't understand how they missed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, nah, this was phoned in.
I think it was probably just the timing of it that just didn't hit at the time, but it's still a solid song. I didn't mind that one.
Shit didn't hit, bro.
Yeah. Any absolute no's for you on here?
Yeah, the outro.
The One's Bitten Twice Shy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was by Hit Boy.
Do what I gotta do. Yeah.
Oh, that's the one with Tiger.
Yeah, that's the song Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two, like, get them the fuck out of here. And I'm gonna be like, I actually I wrote down what I'll tell you right now. 24 Carats of Gold, Selling Dreams. I'm gonna be Do What I Gotta Do. One Bitten Twice Shy.
Mm.
And Life Should Go On. I believe that was a bonus track, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that.
Life Should Go On. That's the that's the one joined with Wale. That's a bonus.
Yeah, that's a bonus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think for me, man, I love Roll Weed Time. It's such a short, like, little teaser. It's a good one. I think Roll Weed Time should have been like in the middle as like a breather to go into the next song.
Okay.
But anyway, I think songs that were a little disappointing. Selling Dreams with Chris Brown. I agree with you there. They should have. I kind of wanted something more upbeat from them.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Experimental is very dated. It feels very dated, and I typically love everything Juicy J is on.
I wish Wiz or like Currency was featured on.
Yeah. I think I wrote. What did I write? I wrote something. Oh no, for Woke Up, I wrote that Wiz should have been on that. Yeah.
Yes, that is okay.
Wiz should have been on Woke Up. That would have made it like that would have been his weed song, and then you wouldn't have needed Experimental.
Mm-hmm.
But I think on here, what's another one that I don't really care for? I think that's the only ones. Selling Dreams. Don't really need to hear I'm Gonna Be. Yeah, those might be the only ones that I'm like, no, absolutely not. I don't even skip the stories because I like hearing the stories.
The stories are fire.
You got stories from Common on here. You got stories from Snoop.
No, say who it is.
Snoop Lion? Yeah. That's important.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Snoop Lion, man. He do what the fuck he want to do. Right. I love it.
I can't wait till he tells us talk on Snoop Grandpa.
Yeah. One of his kids.
Yeah, he like Spanky. Spanky already had, like. Well, I think both of them, Spanky and Corday, both have kids.
Yeah. So it's gonna happen. Shout out to Snoop, man. I love it.
Yeah, man, big Snoop Dogg.
But yes, I think those are the only ones that I can do without, and I think this tape is aging very well. Like even on the re-listen, I was like, man, there's only a couple songs on here that sound dated, but for the most part, these kind of go over pretty well in 2023, especially that intro. That intro is just feel like it's timeless.
I like the project.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I like it. Yeah, I'm ready to get into the rating.
All right, go ahead. You can kick it off.
All right, I give it 4 out of 5 waffles. Like I said, I think this is Big Sean's best project. I think it's a really good project. I think that because 2012 was such like a really robust year, it kind of got like buried in the sauce. But I think I love the fact that like people still talk about it now, and I think that speaks volumes. But yeah, like I just I can't give it the classic rating because like I hate the singing, and I just think that like there's so that like he left a lot of room for improvement on the album. I mean on the project. Sorry guys. On the project, and that's it. Like I don't want people to think I don't hate this album. I don't think that Big Sean isn't like deserving. I think like this was like the one of the best projects that came out that year, and I think that it has aged well. I just everybody doesn't have to have a classic just because it doesn't mean that you hate it if you don't think so. And that's all I want to like get across. And like this is why I wanted to do this album. I mean, damn, I keep saying album project because I really enjoy it. I just wanted to just make sure that like I was able to get that across and like explain it, and
Yeah. I'd agree with you. I think it is a 4 out of 5. I think this is his best. Listen, so I'm gonna explain, right? So just to give y'all some backstory.
What?
Listen, just to give y'all some backstory, right? So we had a conversation last time on one of our segments, and we had a conversation about classics, and we talked about 3 artists that don't have classics. So he mentioned that Big Sean and who are the other two?
Big Sean, Fabulous, and Busta Rhymes.
Right. So he mentioned those, and I was like, Big Sean don't have a classic. So like to me, I've always regarded this as a classic. But then when you speak of like the overall scope, and when I include you guys, the listeners, and what the perception is that because you got to include the perception. So I didn't do that last time. So when you include the perception and you include what a classic is, so like a classic is regarded as a project. One of the main things that you have to have as a classic, in my opinion, and you can say if you disagree, is is the cultural impact, right?
Okay.
And I think this resonated, but I don't think I don't think, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's artists that have been inspired or that were birthed from this project. And I think a lot of classics are held in that regard. There's artists that came that were spawned and birthed from classic projects. And this has been long enough. This was over 10 years ago. To where we haven't seen other artists come forward and say, yo, man, Detroit
That's
is
true.
what really got me
But
to
I will say this. I think that was like in the area that Kanye was failing him.
Yeah.
I think the same speech that Kanye gave for Pusha T's "My Name Is My Name" if he would have gave a speech like that for Big Sean, like I mean, he did come out later and say that on Finally Famous, he said that Big Sean is going to be the male Beyonce.
Yeah, see, but
But
that's just
that wasn't. I think if for Detroit, if Kanye would have really championed him like for Detroit, I think it would have made people like check it out more, listen to it with different ears, and I actually think it probably would have helped. And if he would have been around for it,
yeah.
I think he could have like gave something to that project.
Yeah,
that would have added to it.
this is his classic project. And I think what puts it more in a narrow perspective is that it's so hometown based, so it doesn't connect with everyone. It's so hometown based. So it's like if you're not from the Midwest, you don't have that connection to it. But then what I think he tried to do to kind of bridge that gap was have artists on there that aren't from Detroit tell stories about Detroit
Right.
to bring more people in, which was smart. But I think
Brilliant.
overall, um, there can be a disconnect. And for me, I'm such a hometown guy. I love Detroit so much. I love New York so much. But I always talk about how much I love Detroit and how much this album connected for me. And so it's hard for me not to call it a classic because I feel like it hit on all cylinders. And there's so many intricacies that I think a lot of people miss because they're not from there and that they just won't get. But I think, yes, absolutely, it's Big Sean's classic. But overall, in the scope of hip hop, there's too much that people are gonna miss for everyone to regard it as a classic.
All right, cool. I got nothing. I got nothing. I got nothing.
But I do say all that to say, I think people should check this project out. I think it's some of Big Sean's best rapping. Even if you were to skip over this project, there are projects out there from him like Dark Sky Paradise that more than make up for that more than prove what type of MC that he is. What kind of fun rapper that he is. And I think if you just capitalize off of that type of energy and just keep going, then people can see him in that light too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I am First Class Reg.
And I'm Taurian B.
And we're out of here.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Order in the court.
Dun dun.